Welcome to the State Police exhibit, specifically the Special Operations Response Team Rappelling Demonstration. I'd now like to introduce the host for today's show, Sergeant Eric Ozzy Osborne.
I'm talking real gunslingers. I'm talking real outlaws. They sat along and right on in town. It was happening in the bones, so long as you knew what was going down. They took it.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day 3 of the great New York State Fair. We are SORT. SORT is the tactical element of the New York State Police. As such, we perform all those tasks that you would expect a SWAT team to conduct, such as high-risk felony warrants, search warrants, drug raids, dignitary protection, barricaded subjects, and hostage situations. However, there are also a few tasks we perform that you wouldn't necessarily expect out of a SWAT team, to include search and rescue and high-angle rappelling and rope rescue, which is what we're going to demonstrate here today. So without further ado, let's bring the guys down and introduce them. If you look up on the left side of the tower, we have our team medic, Trooper Brandon, the Pine Martin Madigan. And on the right side, you've got Trooper Christopher. If you like dogs, how do you like these puppies? Swenton. Down here on the ropes, we've got the North Central team leader, Sergeant Cliff. No, I don't play basketball. Good. Up in the DJ booth, fresh off his European tour, hitting every club from Milan to Minsk. He's available for weddings, bar mitzvahs, and yes, bachelorette parties. Trooper DJ DeRossi. Up on the left side of the tower, you've got Trooper Cole. Does that come in multicam? She's And on the right side, his last name means Little King, but sometimes he feels more like a princess. Trooper Ryan, the man tracker, Ordway. Very nice. All right, while they're working their way back up the tower, I'm going to go over a little of the history of our team. In 1980, the Winter Olympics came to Lake Placid. While that was a great privilege and an honor to have them come, it was also a huge responsibility. The 1972 Munich Olympics had a terrorist attack that was at the forefront of everyone's mind. The New York State Police wanted a team capable of direct action against that type of threat. So they took firearms instructors, military personnel, people with the backgrounds, and they trained them with the FBI for 12 weeks in counterterrorism tactics. They were called the Mobile Response Team, or the MRT. Since then, we've undergone several evolutions, and 10 years ago, we became a full-time team and changed our name to Special Operations Response Team. We have 5 teams spread throughout the state in different regions. Each team's responsible for maintaining its own personnel and equipment, from the large pieces of equipment like that Bearcat Lenco over there, armored vehicle on the grass, all the way down to individual gear, such as our climbing harnesses. Another piece of gear you'll see all the guys coming down with is this figure 8. This is our descent device. We feed the rope through that, and that's how we control how we come down. The top hand's just a guide on the rope, just keeps you upright. The back hand, the one down by your hip, that's a moneymaker, that's a brake hand. Once you allow that rope to freely flow through the device, that's when you let gravity take over, and we call that letting her eat. Once you put it down to your hip, puts friction on the device, slows you, and eventually stops you. But telling you is one thing, showing you something different. So if you look up top, we've got Brandon and Chris, who are going to come on down.
Sky is a neighborhood, so keep it down.
All right, You saw them maintain that guide, man, keep them upright. You saw them maintain that brake. They will come down nice and gently, softly land, okay? Now, if they were coming down and they got their hand open a little bit, they're really letting her eat. Sometimes you'll see loops develop in this rope. It's real easy for it to jump out of your hand. They lose their brakes up on those ropes, they're gonna come plummeting straight to earth, right? Not necessarily, that's why we got Cliff here. Cliff's not just sitting here trying to be rude, showing you his ample back. We'll get it out of the way, Cliff. How tall? 6'8", 6'8", so you don't have to ask after the show. He's, as our senior guy and most experienced rope guy, he is a belayman or rope safety. Very important, although not very glamorous job. If somebody comes down, they're losing their brake hand, he's gonna pull that rope. He's gonna put friction on their device, slow and hopefully stop them. However, like I said before, telling you is one thing, showing you something different. So what we're gonna do to demonstrate, one of these guys is gonna take a couple steps back. They're gonna get a running start, and they're gonna throw themselves off of that roof with no hands on the rope. They're gonna come hurtling towards earth at an incredible rate of speed, accelerating at 9.8 meters per second until at the very last moment, Sergeant Wood, if he's able and so inclined, will engage the belay, stopping that trooper mere inches from certain death or at least a sprained ankle. A reckless risk with little reward? Perhaps. An act of foolishness on behalf of the jumper? Most certainly. But these men laugh in the face of danger. Are you not entertained? All right. So, who's doing it? For real? You guys still can't figure it out? It's day 3. Who's going?
Some of this like gentlemen, hang on.
Look like gentlemen, that's fine. This is how we resolve all disputes on the team. Well done, Chris. All right, let's hear it for Brandon for volunteering. So like I said, he's gonna take a few steps back, he's gonna get a ring and start, he's gonna throw himself off. Ready? You're good to go, Brandon? It's gonna be 1, 2. Cliff. Cliff, what are you doing, bro? Something new, huh? Okay. Yeah, it should, in theory. Okay. Have you done this before? No? What's your name, ma'am? Nora? Okay. Well, after today, your belay success rate will be 0 or 100. So either way, you know, it's no real pressure on you. You don't know him. You know, you don't know him. It's really on you, right? Yeah, I think it'll be a great show, right? And if you don't, like, just pull it when on the first or second bounce, whenever, just, it's fine. Brandon, you good to go? He's not so sure about this one. Come on, Brandon, no? Cliff, come here, talk to me for a second. Hey, to be honest with you, I don't really care how this goes. He's gonna, yeah, we got a bunch of these guys. New guys coming out, school's starting up again, it's no big deal. But if he bounces, our state fair days are over. No, we're back out to it, you know what I mean? We can't have that. We should not have that. So why don't you do me a solid, go and get on that rope. Yeah, just pull it. Like I said, you know, whenever, second, third bounce, it's no big deal. Yeah, no pressure for you. Thank you very much, Nora. I appreciate it. I know she would have nailed it. Let's hear it for our honorary belayman. All right, Brandon, you good to go? One condition, what's that? Oh, I recognize that. That's Mandan's cape from the dog show. Super Mandan. Super Madigan. All right, Super Madigan. Here he goes. Let's see how that goes. This isn't a hazard at all. I'm sure that won't end up in his hardware. Make sure you tie it nice and tight around your neck in case it gets up in your 8. That'll be hilarious. Right. Folks, he's ready to go. You want to see him jump? Help me count him in. We're going to count to 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Very nice. For those of you that are veterans to this show, you know we try to get a roller every single show. So come back Labor Day, it'll be a real nail biter. All right, so you see we got a belayman down here for safety purposes. But also, when you're coming down, sometimes you're dealing with high angle, different angles. You can get twisted up, end up in a bad spot. As long as you don't lose your cool, as long as you maintain that brake hand, you're not going to hurtle to the ground. So to demonstrate that, if you look all the way up top, we've got Cole and Ryan who are going to come on down. They came down silky smooth in that standard seated hip rappel. But now they're going to go ahead and transition their brake hand from the right to the left. That's going to allow them to go ahead and invert. So now, even though they're upside down, as long as they don't let go of that brake hand and the support hand now, they're not going to fall to the ground. This is called the commando crawl. Lets us see where we're going before we present any framework of our body. It also frees up the right hand in case they have to address any threats. Once they get low enough where they feel they've seen all they need to see, they can go ahead and re-invert, reassume that brake hand, and come on down. Ladies and gentlemen, the invert. All right, folks. Now, you'll notice we've got a reoccurring theme here. It's always going to be safety. You're dealing with heights, we're dealing with hard edges, we're dealing with terrain once it comes out in the wilderness. And people can get themselves in bad spots, whether they're climbing or rappelling. If they end up in a position, sometimes they can get hurt, sometimes they can just find themselves in a spot where they can't go up or down. We need to find a way to get to them. Most ladders won't reach. Helicopter, depending on the terrain, could be counterproductive. Those plates don't help our ropes out all that much, you know what I'm saying? So we have to find a way to come down, get them, and bring them to safety. So to demonstrate that, if you look all the way up top, we've got Brandon, who's going to come on down. Say Brandon's working his way down a cliff face in Letchworth or Ithaca because it is gorgeous. He gets himself to a spot for a while where he wants to hang out. He's going to take that rope and wrap it around his descent device. Not once, not twice, but thrice. That's called a tie-off. Once he's tied off, he can go hands-free. He can invert. He can literally and figuratively hang out. He can get his phone out. He can post a selfie to Instagram or MySpace. Or, is that a thing? I'm aging myself a little bit here. Hey. I was just kidding. No distracted sliding. Put that away. All right, but say he's hanging out enjoying himself and some rocks kick loose and hit him in the head. I'm gonna need some kids up here. Don't even raise your hand, just come on out. All right, I don't know how many we got. Go to Cliff here, and he's got some rocks. So you're gonna go ahead and let him have it. We're looking for headshots. Loss of consciousness is the goal. All right, let's make this as realistic as possible, this demo. I know we don't have that many, but that's all right. We still get out, get in the mix. Oh, there's some heat on that one, just a little low. Oh, get there. Get there. Oh, who filled these water balloons? Oh, there was a hammer right there. Nice try. Any others? No? No? Oh, that was good. That's all right, you got our electronics though. Let's see if Cliff can get them. Hey, you got them. Let's hear it for our rocks, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, guys. Pardon me. All right, so Brandon's been knocked unconscious. We can't leave him there because we got a lot of time and money invested in him, and he's a part of the team, and it's a brotherhood, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, he owes me $10. So I need him down here because I'm getting paid. So if you look all the way up top, we've got Chris. Chris is going to come down, latch hands onto Brandon, and hopefully bring him to safety. Come on down, Chris. Okay. It's quite the choice. We took all our own music out here. Chris is bold with his choice. Tiffany, circa 1986, perhaps? Think we're alone. What? What?
Way more manlier.
So, oh, he doesn't like this one. Brian, he wants something way more manly. It's pretty insecure. Try something different. There we go. I knew that'd get him down here. As you see Chris come down, you'll notice he's got a different piece of equipment on the front of his harness. He's got what's called a brake bar rack. that break bar rack is going to allow him to take additional weight onto his system. In this case, that additional weight is going to be Brandon. Chris wants to be able to reach Brandon, but just barely. The further away he is, the more weight he'll be able to take off Brandon's rope. But before he gets to work, he's got to perform a tie-off, lest he fall to the ground and become a victim in need of rescue himself. Once Chris effects that tie-off, you're going to see him reach for a blue strap on his left side. That's called a pick-off strap. Pick-off strap is designed specifically for rope rescue in situations like this. Now he does a partial inversion, or just reaches with that wingspan of a condom he has, and hooks into Brandon's system. Once he's hooked into Brandon's harness, he can use those massive biceps that he somehow shoehorns into a medium t-shirt. It's not a large, it's a medium. And he's going to pull Brandon up to him. You can see how Brandon instinctively reaches for Chris's hips and legs. We're a very close-knit team. At this point, we ask no pictures be taken. Thank you. You can see Brandon's line has gone slack. That means his weight is off. Now Chris is going to undo his hardware and his line and totally free him from his line and retain that hardware. In this situation, if the subject is unconscious, it becomes very difficult. He's totally freed Brandon from his line, and hopefully he's done all the steps correctly. He's going to undo the tie-off, and if he's done it correctly, he'll be able to lower himself and Brandon safely and gently to the ground. Looks like we nailed it. Ladies and gentlemen, the tie-off. All right, folks, we've showed you basic rappelling. We've showed you some of the safety precautions we put in place. We've showed you a small percentage of the rescue work that we're able to do. However, there's also a tactical application to the rope work that we're showing here today. Take, for example, say a bad guy's creeping around these bad guys. He snatches a kidney, gets up in that building right there. He barricades the door shut. It's a horrible choice of location on his part, but he's made a series of bad decisions to get to this point. But he feels real comfortable where we're not going to be able to come in through the door. Unfortunately for that bad guy, Sword doesn't need to come in through the door. We can come in through the window. So if you look all the way up top, you've got Ryan, who's ready to come down and run the recon. Ryan's careful to land very gently on that roof so as not to alert any of the occupants. He switches his brake hand so he can rotate into the invert and do the commando crawl. He's going to check out that first window, see what we got in there. Whoa, wrong window. Or is it? Oh, she's had a change of heart. No, swipe left. So Ryan works his way down to the second window, and he's signaling that the hostage and hostage taker are in there. You'll see Ryan reach up to the right side of his harness. He's grabbing a noise flash diversion device, commonly referred to as a flashbang. It emits a bright light and loud noise, which distracts and disorients anybody that's in that room. He's got the bang ready to deploy, and it looks like we're ready for Cole to come down and effect the rescue. Cole's in the window. There appears to be a tussle. I think the bad guy's getting the better of it. Oh, I recognize this bad guy. We've dealt with him before. He means business. Oh, no. Cole, folks, I am sorry you had to witness that. That is a clear violation of New York State Police policy and procedures. Cole, you can't throw a pedophile out of a second-story window. No. Rules and regulations clearly state it has to be the third floor or higher. Second floor, not getting it done, you know what I'm saying? Well, how's Timmy doing? Is he okay? Yeah, check on Timmy, will you? He's the reason we're here. Timmy's okay, you got him, you saved him. Nice job, Cole. All right, so that's it? All right, good enough. Just one today, that's awesome, it's a great save. All right, folks, hopefully you enjoyed the day out here. Hopefully you can tell that we enjoy having our time out here. It's a nice break for us to deal with you good people and interact and have some fun on the ropes. However, at the end of the day, it is a serious business that we're involved in. If you look up on that roof line, we've got 4 sets of numbers. Those four sets of numbers are shield numbers of members who are on our team who died in the line of duty. They're Michael Strank, Ross Riley, David Brinkerhoff, and Joseph Longobardo. Those 4 men died serving the people of the state of New York, and we think it's those guys that deserve a real round of applause today. Folks, you've been a great crowd. We really appreciate it. Feel free to come forward after this. We got some stickers for the kids. We'll post for pictures. Tasteful, of course. You can hit the State Police Museum, get your knowledge on, or you can head over to the Trooper Foundation and pick up all your State Police swag. Thank you very much for coming out. Enjoy the rest of your day at the Great New York State Fair.